left off at the story of the clowning when the hospital was open. But then I realized if I really wanted a hospital, and I do, that is what I want to show. So I went public and started talking all over the country and then other countries. I used humor a lot. I did workshops and lectures. But within a year, I was feeling an emptiness of some kind, some itch that needed to be scratched. And I looked and I looked and I realized that I need to care. I need to help people. That there are a lot of hurting people and that it's not very hard to help people. And that, wow, and a lot of times people have given up on the people that aren't very hard to help. And so I knew I had to build a hospital. I could not have a clinic or a hospital. So I started the clown trips. They're a certain short period of time. Not only do I get to clown in a solid way, but whoever came on the trip could really gain a lot of experience. Not so much by teaching, but on the job. Here's the place, let's have fun. Wow, how enchanting to spend that much time in Russia, where it was the first country we did it, sometimes 10, 12 hours a day. Why not goof wherever you go? Yeah, especially if the playmates that are on the trip with you, they'll do it too. And so you always have a roving band of funny troublemakers. And that the more you did it, the more free your own imagination and play, the spontaneity, the improvisation was enchanting. You know, I knew clowning when our hospital was open was very helpful for pain, for any kind of discomfort. I didn't know how it would be in a regular hospital, but I found instantly the nurses and the women that worked there were thankful because the vibe really improved everyone's situation, adults or children. And so we were allowed to go nuts. There was a Russian circus that got involved in us one year, and one guy brought a bear cub to the ward of the hospital. I got out my fake poop. I didn't show you my fake poop in the bag, it's there. And I put it down by the bear, and the circus bear handler was horrified that the bear had shat in his hospital, and I went and picked it up and took a bite of it. So many stories and so much misbehavior, and my closest friends wanted to do it, and they became the closest people I knew, because we would seek out suffering, not for the thrill of suffering, but because we want to be there. We think joy and love and funny can be there, and huge numbers of experiences. In Trinidad, the island, I was once asked to clown for 5 men who were hung the next morning for capital crimes. They were to be executed. 4 of them loved it. And I thought, am I really going to clown for 5 men who were hung? And I said, hey, if it's your last night and you know you're going to be hung in the morning, wouldn't you like to have fun on your last night? And 4 of them agreed. And, I started asking who is suffering the most, because I was comfortable to be present with them, not because I think I can do something. The fool is pretty humble about that. But you can be present, you cannot give up. Because Susan likes this definition of success. Success is, did I try? Did I give my time? Did I never give up? And I would say that describes my clowning. And so, yeah, I had clowned in hospitals just as Patch, and I had worn a lot of costumes, but I didn't own up that I was clowning and taking and question, do I take on a character? Because usually on the 150 clown trips we've done, almost no one takes on a character. And one knows famous characters like Charlie Chaplin's Tramp, okay, and so many others. And so I wondered, what character am I? That I am a very extroverted, noisy buffoon. But I remember this guy, Eddie Moore. Because I want to know, how do you take a 6'4", 208-pound large man and make them harmless? How can you make that in whatever country, whatever culture you're in, that you are, by your presence, not scaring people? And this was Eddie Moore. He was unconditionally loving and funny. And so I became a Down syndrome adult as, for me, as high a calling as I've ever had in my life, to be able to walk in a horrible situation and to be love and fun there and focus on the fact that we're alive and present. And so let me show you. All right, so in 1985, I met a guy who had clown shoes, and he had clown shoes made by Alan Zarodnik. And so he took 15 measurements of each foot. And so I've had these clown shoes since 1985. Wherever I've seen clowning, they have been there with me. They're ratty, and who knows? But they sure are fun to wear. They're heavy, so they're good exercise. And they kind of declare you. Okay, the nose declares you, but the nose could be something you put in your pocket. You're not going to put these in your pocket. And especially if they're worn, people have a feeling you've used them before. They've lasted all these years. So, what am I talking? 32 years. Yeah. Okay, now traditionally, I would pull up my pants like this. And I often do this in public without the shoes on, because I have maybe 30 toys on my person, including another clown nose. And if I pull up my pants like this, I can cause trouble in any kind of shoe. And so this is my traditional garment. I can pull this up over my shoulders and put my hands in there and be a fat round ball. And because of my long skinny legs, that it makes me differently funny. Okay, and in my bag here, I have friends. Okay, so I always put on my pacifier. And I put on my nose. I usually clown without my glasses. I need to be simpler than glasses make me. Put them just down over here since I don't, whoops, okay. As soon as I put on my nose, something happens to me. I'm this other guy, see? And if I put on the chicken hat, and I pick up the fish. Fish is my friend. It only has one eye, but it can see where it's going. I'll wiggle it so it swims. Sometimes it goes up and down. But the main thing is fish is my friend, you see. When you hold a friend close, everything is fine. Whatever is happening, you have a friend. I like to pat the fish. Yeah, I pat the, and when I'm in a hospital, sometimes the patient pats the fish. I make sure I put hand sanitizer on the fish before I do that, because the fish has been around. Yeah, so I have my get up here, and I hold the fish usually with your head pointing down, and I just walk along, hold my pants up there like this. Beep beep beep. Hello. Yeah. I'll show people my fish. Get down for a kid who's short, little thing, and ask him to pet him. Yeah, he pets him. And then I just go in people's faces. For some reason, if I look this way, a person can be right here and I can go right up to them. And I like to stare at them and not do anything for a long time, because that's usually a fun thing to do with a person. And then that's the simplest form of what I'm talking about. Yep. Yeah, and the fish is everybody's friend. Really, you can feel fine with a fin. You can even sing a little song about feeling fine with a fin. Feeling fine with a fin. Feeling fine with a fin. That last boo floated up there, hit the ceiling. Yep, so that's my friend the fish and me. I hope you saw my friend up here in the sky, that she keeps her eye on us. Well, thank you very much. I think I'm gonna go out and let my fish go for a walk. So thank you very much.